10 most powerful fighting styles. From the Chinese martial arts to a fighting style designed by the Russian military, these are the 10 most powerful fighting styles in the world. Number 10. Muay Thai. Muay Thai, also known as the art of the 8 limbs, is a martial art style that was born out of necessity for the people of Thailand. The history of Thai boxing dates back to the 1500s, when a document refers to a boxing fight that took place between the Thai king Naresuan and the Burmese king. But the prevalence of the Muay Thai began when the Thai people sought to create a martial art that could be learned quickly to defend themselves against other peoples of Indochina as they migrated from Southeast China to their present location. The people in Indochina came into frequent conflicts with the Thai people, and so the Muay Thai became the method of self-defense for the Thai people. The Muay Thai is a very ferocious fighting style, as it makes substantial use of the elbows and knees to attack opponents. Number 9. Kung Fu. Kung Fu is perhaps one of the most popular martial arts in the Western world thanks to a plethora of martial arts movies that made their way into the mainstream media. Kung Fu broadly refers to the Chinese martial arts, which encompass the study and practice of martial arts that require patience, energy, and a substantial amount of time to master. The fighting style has been practiced for centuries, and it is one of the oldest hand-to-hand combat styles in the world. It was used by Chinese warriors as both a form of attack and defense. Kung Fu has many styles, but they all have one ultimate goal, which is to strike the enemy with lightning speed and inescapable power. This is what makes Kung Fu one of the deadliest and most powerful martial arts in the world. Number 8. Eskrima. Also known as Arnis or Kali, Eskrima is the national martial arts of the Philippines. The Filipinos have practiced Eskrima for hundreds of years, protecting this tradition and honing the skills that come with the art. Eskrima is a martial art style that emphasizes the use of weapons such as sticks, knives, bladed weapons, and other improvised weapons. This fighting style combines the use of weapons with an open hand technique that can be executed without weapons. This fighting style involves a specialized skill set that involves delivering lightning-quick punches, grabbing the hands and feet of opponents, disarming opponents, and killing them. Even when the open hand technique of Eskrima is employed, opponents can still be killed with bare hands. Today, Eskrima exists in 2 versions. One involves the wearing of full body armor, equipped with a mask to protect the face of the fighter. The other version maintains the native brutality of the fighting style. It involves the fighter's use of metal sticks and little sponges to finish off their opponents. This version of Eskrima is a lot more brutal than the other version, and it only takes place in illegal fights. Number 7. Bacom. This Peruvian martial art is one of the deadliest martial arts in the world. Developed in the streets of Lima for the Peruvian military, Bacom has a reputation for being extremely vicious. The objective of this fighting style is to inflict the maximum amount of pain on the opponent so that it becomes too much for the opponent to take. More often than not, after a fight, the loser ends up dead, which shows just how deadly this martial art can be. The emphasis of this martial art is power. Fighters are trained to inflict serious damage to their opponents with extremely powerful attacks designed to disrupt their opponent's balance. There is also an element of surprise in Bacom, as fighters are allowed to use hidden, secret weapons in the battle to stun their opponents. With a combination of sheer power, a barrage of extreme punches, and the use of deadly hidden weapons, Bakong allows fighters to inflict serious injuries on their opponents within a very short span of time. Number 6. Sambo. Developed in the USSR, Sambo is a martial art for unarmed defense, and it was designed for elite units. This martial art became popular in the 1990s because it combined judo, Thai boxing, boxing, and kickboxing. Sambo was originally reserved for Red Army soldiers and government agents in the USSR, but as crime in the country began to increase, this martial art was taught to security guards and even private bodyguards who took the liberty to add the use of small weapons to the fighting style. While there are many disciplines of Sambo, the most prominent ones known today are Combat Sambo and Special Sambo. Special Sambo is a special kind of martial art whose secretive techniques are reserved for only special units. On the other hand, Combat Sambo is a demanding martial art that is designed specifically for the Army and the police. This version of Sambo allows fighters to land blows on almost any part of the body, including the knees, the elbows, and the head, which makes it one of the most devastating martial arts. Number 5. Rough and Tumble. This fighting style was common in the rural areas of the United States in the 18th and 19th centuries. At the time, the objective of the fighting style was to gouge out the eye of the opponent, and it included other brutal actions like biting and disfiguring the opponent. This fighting style was extremely brutal. There were no safety precautions put in place, as the primary objective of the fight was to either disable or kill your opponent. This is what makes it one of the most powerful and deadliest fighting styles in the world. Number 4. Ninjutsu. It is from the ninjutsu that we have come to learn about ninjas in pop culture today. Originating in 13th century Japan, the art of ninjutsu employs an array of skills that includes information gathering, navigating and surviving in nature, hiding and sneaking up on opponents, avoiding enemies, and fighting with bare hands and various weapons. Those who practice ninjutsu are called ninjas. Initially, it was considered a dishonorable martial art form, but since it has made its way into Western media in the 70s and 80s, ninjutsu has been accepted worldwide. Now practiced by tens of thousands all over the world, the ninjutsu is still strictly controlled by its home school and spiritual leader in Japan. It is without a doubt one of the most effective systems of self-defense and one of the most powerful martial arts in the world. Number 3. Ballet Tudo. The Ballet Tudo is not as common as other Brazilian martial arts like the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or the Capoeira, but with a name which is translated as anything goes, the Ballet Tudo is one of the most powerful and deadliest combat sports in the world. The sheer brutality of this fighting style means that duels only take place underground, away from the media, where it would be roundly condemned for its brutality. Number 2. Line. Abbreviated from the name Linear Infighting Neural Override Engagement, Line is the combination of various martial arts techniques, including Judo's classical hip throws, and it was used by the U.S. Marine Corps throughout the 1990s. Today, Line is still employed by several special forces within the United States. The objective of this fighting style is to directly kill your opponent, which made it one of the most lethal martial arts in the world. Number 1. Krav Maga. Undoubtedly the most powerful and the most lethal fighting technique in the world, the Israeli martial art Krav Maga is a practical method of combat that trains fighters to prevent and resolve any form of violence and attack. Krav Maga is a combination of self-defense, martial, and combat skills, which are unique and relatively easy to learn. Krav Maga does not care for the well-being of the opponents, and as such, losing against a Krav Maga fighter could be fatal. This fighting style is widely accepted in the military and the police as an effective defense art against barehanded and armed attackers. Which of these fighting styles do you think is the most powerful? Let me know in the comment section down below. Until next time, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.